Hello everyone. So it is Sunday the 17th of May 2020. Man, this year is just shooting by. So at any rate, let's start off. I'm going to have a look at the US dollar basket and the major currencies and take you through some of the charts we'll be keeping an eye on this coming week for trading opportunities. So having a look at the dollar basket, we're still hovering around the 100 level effectively. Okay, so no change in this, and we haven't really had that for, I don't know, 6 or 7 weeks. And although we're kind of on our way up, currently trending up towards 101, really my expectation, I'll be more interested in this once it breaks outside of these ranges, either to the upside or to the downside. So right now it's really just ping-ponging between the two levels, and I don't really expect too much to change just yet. So I'll keep an eye on it every other day, but there's a slight uptrend to the upside, but we really got to see what happens when it hits 101. So not expecting too much there. So anticipating effectively a slightly stronger dollar this week, but not much more than that. Having a look at euro dollar. So just to go back, actually, one thing I do want to highlight here, I did this a while ago. I was just talking about the flow. If I look at the moving averages here, I can see that the medium term and the shorter term moving averages are generally flowing to the upside. So basically what it's saying here is that the underlying price move at this point is just creeping to the upside. Nothing significant, not really tradable, but gives an indication of the flow. And the same thing here with euro dollar. Nice little support level at 1.0775, and my expectation currently, if that doesn't hold, obviously, is to see that start to break lower. If I look again at the moving averages here, prices just sort of slowly but surely creeping to the downside. We are still within a range. And so again, I'm really not looking to take any positions on this. I need to see it either break to the downside or again break to the upside. It's still within that range, but overall, the flow of price seems to be pushing it down towards the downside. So unless something significant happens, my expectation is more currently based on that flow of price that it will actually break to the downside. So next up, having a look at cable. Cable, this to me is quite interesting. Cable has now expressly kind of broken to the downside and looks relatively bearish. Actually, there was a really nice pullback into the moving averages on the weekly, and now heading lower, heading back towards that 1.2 level. So for now, I look and forward to this kind of heading towards that 1.2 level and testing that. Overall, the trend here is somewhat unclear. And if we do get a shift in that US dollar index over the rest of the year, we could see this start to head away from that. But in the shorter term, I'll keep an eye on it. It's looking quite weak. And so actually, if I go across to, at this point, just sort of segue and have a look at some of the GBP pairs. Pound Aussie drifting a little bit lower, pound Kiwi not really going anywhere at this point, and we'll see why that is in a moment, because that's because of a weaker Kiwi. Pound Yen breaking lower, pound Swissy breaking lower and breaking through some nice support levels there, and pound CAD breaking lower. So in terms of kind of not much out there necessarily, being out there in terms of opportunities, GBP seems to have broken that mold. Then having a look at going back to the majors and just talking about Aussie dollar against that. Again, I've been talking about this for a while now, for several weeks, waiting for price to pull back into this area, produce a bearish candle and start to break to the downside. And that still is on the table. In fact, what's nice about it now as well is that there's now a monthly bearish candle that's forming near those moving averages. So the statistics of this are looking actually better. And again, we've got a lower high on the daily. So break of the low of that to me would then signal trading, intraday trading opportunities and potential swing trading opportunities. Kiwi dollar is the same. In fact, it's actually weaker. It's now in a downtrend on the daily, produced a very bearish engulfing bar on the weekly, and also within that monthly time frame. So those looking pretty good. If I then head down to those pairs, Kiwi Yen, for example, looking nice and bearish, break through that level of support, drifting lower. So Kiwi Swissy also looking good there, nice bearish candles. Aussie Yen also producing a bit of a bearish candle there. Aussie Swissy, similar here, potentially looking to head low. So Aussie dollar is a little bit behind the Kiwi, but the general principle remains the same, with Aussie CAD not looking as bullish. And so you can see with Aussie, because Aussie is not as weak as the Kiwi, Aussie Kiwi starting to climb. It's still within a larger range here, but those to me right now are kind of the preferable choices in terms of currency opportunities for the next few days.